What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, Division Rivals? This is Stephen Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. All right, everybody, so we're going to talk about Stanford cornerback Paulson Adebo.
Recruit a lot of the great Stanford players, including the guy who just whiffed on Wilkins. Gabe Reed, who comes back and gets a hit on. That one up into coverage.
Such a complicated prospect to shed light on, guys. I absolutely love the kid's personal story, right? His mother, being very fluent in French, and then he learned, his primary language was French. I mean, he's a young man that was committed to Notre Dame, but he, always wanted to play for Stanford, and he really values academics. This is a very intelligent young man. Ends up basically decommitting from Notre Dame and then recommitting or committing, to Stanford. I mean, there's a lot about the kid personally to really love about the young man. He's definitely one of these guys that gives you a sense of respect for him as a human being, as like just a young man who's potentially might do something special with his life. Like in that aspect of Paulson Adebo, guys, he's got my respect. I really do think he's going to be a really good, young man for everybody.
Something that I wanted to know is, so you opt out of the 2020 season, but how did you ensure that you got yourself better every day?
The DB part of things, working with Clay Mack, my DB trainer, just working on staying lower. My pad level, working on coming out of my break smoother, working on finishing with the ball in my hands.
Talking about playing football, though, his best attribute is really easy to spell out, guys, and it's really easy to see. He plays the ball in the air. He's probably the best, if not one of the best, at least arguably, at playing the ball in the air.
Vic Morton, Paulson Adebo, it's a well-thrown ball, but he has better coverage, better ball skills. Paulson Adebo, the former wide receiver, picks off his second miraculous interception of the day.
In 2 seasons, guys, he's had 24 pass breakups and 8 interceptions. Incredibly productive playing the ball in the air.
In coverage, we've seen Herbert make these throws all night. How about the length?
As a matter of fact, there were times on film, you just watched this young man play the position, and it looked like he was playing receiver. He's just got a good feel for when to go get that football, when to go take it away from an opponent, like one-handed catches. Crazy, like, just production down the field, watching him jump routes. I mean, the young man definitely is a ball hawk.
Watch the right hand just snag.
He fits the definition of what you would call, like, being a ball hawk. But saying that, though, guys, it is a little complicated because physically, he has the physical attributes, right, of a young man that you would think of being a very good press corner, right? I mean, 6'1"-ish, somewhere, I think he's just under 200 pounds, somewhere in that area, guys. I don't know exactly off the top of my head. The physical measurement, those stuff, guys, 6'9" 3-cone. That's a really good 3-cone, guys. That's elite level 3-cone stuff, right? A 4.13 short shuttle. Another really good number on the short shuttle, guys. Anything under a 4.2, if you get close to a 4, it's like really elite, but anything under a 4.2 is good. He ran a subpar 40, like a 4.45 40, so he's a high 4.4 into a 4.5 guy in terms of the straight-ahead speed, but he's a big physical young man that I think that from a physical attribute sense, looks like he would be a very good cornerback, in a man system. Production-wise, he was not. I'll be honest with you, I think a lot of teams that may be dominant, man-heavy kind of corners, that's the dominant like system they run, they might shy away from Paulson Adebo a little bit, guys. I'm not going to lie. Just because on film, man, he's got a problem biting on the double move.
He just go. There's that double move again. Dusty, open, touchdown.
If you guys watched the Quentin Michael interview that he did with Mosher and Adam Kaplan and Jason Avant, where they were talking about, I think it was actually, maybe it was Jason Avant that said it, but they were talking about how corners sometimes have a tendency to play the upper half of the body, and that gets them beat. I think you can see that a little bit in Paulson Adebo's film, to where he really got taken on double moves. He was watching the shoulders and the head fakes entirely too much. Should be watching the lower part of the feet, the lower part of the body, not the upper part, or it can get you beat. I do think that you could see that there.
For the route to come open. Has a lot of time. Taking a shot down. Field.
What I will say for him, though, is if you put him in an aggressive zone system that runs some underneath man stuff, I think he would be pretty good in that, to where he's going to play some in a zone system that runs some man concepts within it. I think it's where Paulson Adebo could shine. In terms of like the systems I see doing that and where I think he would fit, I'll just say that I think in teams like Minnesota and Indianapolis, of course. Philadelphia, of course. And I hate to say it, but the Giants, when they run that kind of cover 2 man under thing that they'll do from time to time, you know, really closes in tight throwing windows, and a guy like Paulson Adebo that can jump a ball on you. I mean, it makes some sense, guys. I mean, he's definitely, you know, kind of fits those type of systems.
Long throw, picked off by Adebo, and one of the nation's best.
Now, what I will say is that as I looked at this, I kind of wondered about his fit at Stanford. I just felt like he chose Stanford because it's always where he wanted to go. I can relate to it. I did the same thing with NC State. I should have probably looked outward for better academics, but I grew up a fan of NC State, Jimmy V, all that stuff. So, I get that. But I do wonder if the fit from the system he played in was better suited to his on-field strengths. So that's what makes it hard to evaluate an individual like this, is that I don't know that he was in the right system to fairly give him an evaluation. And that's kind of tough, guys, because his film is kind of full of double moves beating him. He's not a great run supporter either. He's got to get better at run support. Like 135, attempts at tackles, like 25 missed tackles on that. Like that's not good, guys. Again, that's a little too much whiffing on run support there. I mean, he's got to be a lot better than that. I will say that I've heard some people really like this kid's fluid athleticism. I think the kid's testing, you can see, he's a very fluid athlete. Other publications have said, though, when you get into the film, you got to be a little weary of some of that. I don't know, guys. I'll just say that from the testing and from what I saw on film, I think he's a fluid athlete, but I do know that there is dissension on that point. I would say that I think it wasn't a matter of his athleticism that was getting him beat. I just think he had bad technique at times. I think he was in the wrong system, and I think he had really bad technique. Honestly, I like the way the kid shoots his hips, and I like his lateral speed a lot. I think he has the ability to be pretty good in the NFL.
Things like this. The issue has been double moves, but slants with his long arms.
That's how I see this young man, guys. But Jordan, I'm going to ask you as I end this video, I'm going to ask you, what do you think? I will say, guys, if you look at the elite, testing, if you look at 3-cone and you look at the short shuttle, Paulson Adebo is up there with guys like Benjamin St. Just, Robert Rochelle, Zach McPherson, I wouldn't say Cameron Bynum, DJ Daniels. Cameron Bynum was really slow in the 40. It's kind of hard to justify that 40 time, but those guys had really good lateral speed in their testing. He's kind of up there with those guys. So I want to know, what do you think about Paulson Adebo? What do you think about his fit? Where do you think he would be a good fit at? Give me your comments. Give me your thoughts. Give me your opinions down below, guys. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Don't forget, if you want to support the channel, you can buy me a cup of coffee. Link is in the description below. You can also like and comment on the video, guys. That's what basically gets this thing suggested to other people. And last but not least, if you're not subscribed, I would love to add you to the community. But in order to do that, guys, I need you to hit that subscription button. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all's time and effort, and I will see you guys on the next video.